Time Machine Solar. This one has the battery pack on it. What are we gonna get into right away? First thing I want to do is rewrap that guy. Welcome, what's up? What is up, my guy? How are you doing today? What's good, Mies? You know something, my friend. I don't know if I have special. I don't think I have like special knowledge or anything like that. But I also don't think anyone else is really even attempting this exact strategy or type of board, which I think is why I'm doing it. What's good, Angel? Can I order the hoverboard currently on the screen? This one I have not posted up, even the model of, but I'll try to add it on there. So this one's still so in process that I wouldn't even know what the finished version of it looks like. But I guess it is kind of done. So I suppose I could get it up there. Send me a message if you don't mind. That way I can message you once I put it up on there. Of course, hopefully I see that message. That I should. I was gonna go look at some messages later tonight. I'm gonna work on a new. What are you doing? I'm gonna unwrap the hover wrap. I want to try rewrapping it. Just get a fresh hover wrap on it. Have you gotten any? Oh, I don't know what that is. No, I haven't. Did I miss any other comments? Have you tried 20th dimensional water test? No, I have not. Interesting. Bro, I liked one video. Clom. That's all it takes, my G. One video and you're in here for good. Remix, what are you doing? Oh, I already answered that. 20th dimensional water test, very nice. I can make a life-size one, yes. What's up, avocado? What's the point of this? This right here is the 10th dimensional hoverboard, my friend. Just to build a hoverboard. Just to build a, as well as a few other things. Also working on a time machine. Oh no. 70 core rays coming loose. Take this off. The old one. Also, this is the Time Machine Lab is now 2/3. Solar Series is now 2/3 assembled. We have power, ladies and gentlemen, in the Time Machine universe. We have power. Huge, huge, huge move forward. But we only have reusable power. I mean, that power storage. We still need to get power generation abilities. Well, not generation, but absorption. solar power. So the next step for the time machine lab is to get the solar panel on it. So we'll see. We will see how that goes. What does the transparent obstacle represent? It's just an obstacle. It's just an obstacle. It's part of a time machine, which is probably why I think it's catching so much attention. But it's actually the lid for the Clear Series Time Machine Studio. But it just represents any obstacle that the board might encounter. Here's our new hover wrap stack. What's going on here? Some kind of fold in the hover wrap. Ooh. Very smart. Everybody's super smart when you have brains. Brains are what really gets the smartness going, and everybody has one of them. So I think some people don't really use intellect as their primary approach in life, though. For whatever reason, they are disenfranchised from the concept. But it's a good idea. Trust your brain, trust your ability to process information. There's no reason to be so afraid about it. I just think certain aspects of growing up in school can kind of make people shy away from, and just social. I think most of the barriers to people feeling in touch with their own intellect are really social. You're always afraid of somebody calling you crazy or someone thinking that you're weird. Who cares, bro? It literally doesn't matter. I mean, it can matter for a little bit, because people trying to vibe you out can actually have a real effect on your life. But only until you're like fully independent. Let's check this out. That's looking pretty good. That's looking pretty good. Actually, I should have glued it down first. All right. Sorry, lock it in a little bit. What do you guys say? What's the name of this one? This is still the 10th dimension. Oh, the 10th dimensional hoverboard. Ooh, thanks. Let that dry up. Just doodling. Well, doodling is drawing. Enigma, what's up? Glad to see you here. What does the glue represent in this situation? It's glue, my friend. It represents glue. What is the Kirk? I mean, I don't think I would use glue on the model. I'll probably have some sort of clipping system. Actually, I haven't figured that out at all. But it probably won't be glue on the... Glue's not bad, though. If it has to be glue, I'm not really upset with that. Especially, well, actually, I don't know. Super glue is super tough, but it's not the most overall, like, resilient. Oh, jeez. That's what you get for using glue on your scissors. I got stuck for a second here. Oh! Gotta have some space for the wheels. After this, I'm probably gonna make some time machines, and then that'll be it for the night. But oh, that looks perfect. Look at that. Look at that. Wheels just perfectly popping. That's more what we're going for. Where's the I guess I'll use this. You guys are gonna believe this. I have to make yet another 70 model, and guess where it's going? Italy. Freaking Italy! It's amazing. So the hoverheads are all over the world, ladies and gentlemen. All over the world. All right, excellent. Excellent work. Where's our grounding mat? Oh, here it is. Also, we can take a look at that. That's been encoding. If you saw yesterday, I applied the gold paint to it. Pretty cool. I don't know what it added exactly, but I didn't see much changes, but it looks cool. I was thinking it might be more of a concrete result, but this changes everything. I mean, we're making moves, ladies and gentlemen. Danish STU, is that the college you go to? It's pretty cool, thank you, John. Virgin quantum mechanics and general relativity. I mean, I didn't want to say it. But that is the purpose of some of my theoretical framework. I mean, and it's kind of why I view quantum mechanics as sixth-dimensional. I think it puts things into perspective. If you put one of the main epiphanies I really had with the sixth dimension was because of the conflict of general relativity and quantum mechanics. Because I was like, the problem might be general relativity is giving you a fourth/fifth dimensional perspective of the universe, explaining all the macro forces up until gravity, and quantum mechanics being a sixth-dimensional perspective. That's pretty gangster, by the way. Amazing, utterly amazing. With the hover wrap, we have how many layers in there? Looks like we got about 8. So this should be the smoothest. Oh yeah, Oh yeah. Is it aerodynamic? I mean, pretty aerodynamic. I mean, it's flat on top. Could probably improve it on the sides. Probably some drag there. But was that if quantum mechanics, sorry, back to why my theoretical framework is aimed at reconciling quantum mechanics and general relativity. If you look at quantum mechanics as sixth dimension, and Gavin, what's up? Quantum mechanics is sixth dimensional, and general relativity is fourth/fifth dimensional, especially gravity, fifth dimensional. It explains why you can't get a clear. Well, that's what I was thinking anyway at the time. It sort of might be able to explain why you can't get a clear excitation of gravity, right? They can't find the graviton. Also, what's the other fundamental problem? Something about infinities. But anyway. Why aren't we tapping into the 11th degree angle? What's the 11th degree angle? I don't know what that is. By the way, for those who haven't seen yet, the Time Machine Solar Series is now two-thirds complete. Copper base being one-third. The onboard storage. Fourth dimension is time. Yes, exactly. So this is really our most powerful time machine ever, which is why I'm spending so much time testing on it, because I'm encoding data for multiple different angles at this point. Interesting. That's good. That's good. That's with a lot of pressure as well. Let's go ahead and do a non-pressure test. Oh yeah. That's butter. It's absolute butter. Just getting another test of the hover wraps in here. Absolute butter. If you saw the first one up until this one, ladies and gentlemen, you'll know we've made extreme progress. Those wheels are rolling. These wheels, back wheels, are not even accessible, but I didn't really care about that, to be honest. But let's go ahead and get the best possible test by. Whoa, what was that? What was that just on the screen right now? Someone give something crazy? Spartan helmet, that was super sick. Thank you so much, my guy. I appreciate you. Who was it who dropped that? I gotta shout you out exactly. Alex Lee. Thank you, my G. I don't get how come if someone gives a gift, they're not automatically in your fan club. What's the point of the whole fan club thing then? Just makes it. There's too many different things on here. Whatever. Gooby, thank you so much, my guy, for continuing your awesomeness. Woo! Locking a little bit. What coils are you using? No coils at the moment. Bryce Lewis. Bryce Lewis with the massive early stream Galaxy.
Daddy, make me clean.
Out of your mind, Jacob.
Daddy, make me scream.
Jacob with the super weird song. with this super duper weird song. Jacob with the weird one. Bryce, thank you so much for the galaxy, my friend. Thank you so much. I appreciate you more than I will be able to relate to you, but I will translate my appreciation into research intensity. Testing the updated hover wrap. Whew, it worked amazing. Now I'm getting some additional data with the also upgraded time machine lab. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on a whole nother level today. Wow. I mean, literally. We're on a whole nother level. Amazing. That's far and away better than anything else we were dealing with. Let me push this. Nah. Let me try to get out the way a little bit. Now you guys can't even see what's going down. Absolutely riveting. Absolutely. The slime allows for fourth dimensional testing, ladies and gentlemen. So what is the fourth dimension? Well, you can think about it as a smear of three-dimensional moments, a blur. And slime, again, is actually two separate other sparkles. What do the sparkles do? I mean, I don't know, but it's definitely boosting. It's definitely boosting the data. I mean, they just came in there. There's actually a lot more sparkles in this slime, but most of them have settled to the bottom, so they're not disturbing our test. Excellent. Wow. It doesn't even want to just hover. This thing wants to fly. Wow. That's amazing. It's utterly amazing. The plastic thing is just standing in as an obstacle, ubiquitous obstacle. It's just done such a great job that I continue to allow it to excel. Very fascinating. Let me see a couple straight tests again. Absolute butter. And we're not really getting, let's do some repetitive tests and see if we get what kind of wear pattern we start to see developing. Okay. We have a little bit of a bump there. But, you know, when we refine the ridge, a lot of that's going to be dealt with ramming a skateboard over plastic. Hey, whatever the testing requires, my friend, there's no point in being timid in science. Yes, really smooth butter. Wear pattern's pretty obvious. It's on top of the hover cores, which basically just lets us know that either that's what we want, or we can bring that down and make it even more flush. Also, it kind of makes me think about the design of the cores themselves. Let's continue with the test though. How necessary it is for the cores to be perfectly round. if their purpose, I don't know how much they're rolling while interacting with the hover wrap. So, but that's definitely testing we can get to. And if we put bearings in on them, who knows what could happen. I also honestly think the increased performance of the time machine is due let's check that wear pattern, is due to the upgraded time machine. It's literally powered, right? So we got well, funnily enough, you don't store electricity, you know. All electricity storage is, in fact, a mechanical type of storage where you're literally just building up pressure. It's not like a bucket that you're dumping electricity, and you're just reorganizing a potential pressure. Linear, one-dimensional, my hypothesis. Interesting. We're just getting wear patterns on this right now. Fresh hover wrap setup, wheels perfectly, well, not perfectly exposed, but pretty well exposed. It's 6 in the morning. Bro said stop spamming it. I should stop spamming science, my friend, please. What is it? You need to get better access to your Taylor Swift videos. Come on. Come on. Lock in, ladies and gentlemen. You're already a hoverhead just by being here, so you might as well take it to the next level. We're just doing up. See, there we go. This is what we want to see. This is the data that we need. So we're getting an actual tear there, which is strange because that's not even a location where there are hover cores. It's actually just a location where, if you can see, the pink foam in there is slightly raised. And that's actually, you would think it's tearing on the hover cores, but I think their three-dimensionality is actually preferable of a drag to the raised area with the outer core, because what that pink stuff on the inside represents is the outer core of the 70 core rays. Without that, the cores themselves are exposed, making them not so much as cores as they are proto-cores. Clean straight through to the other side. Not sure why this is all folded up. What that has to do with anything. That could just be from me pushing it up, I guess. So it's looking good. It's looking good. I'm actually even liking the resiliency of the slime layer. Hover engines running this thing. I think one might have fallen off. Use gel. Oh, that's I mean, yeah, exactly. You know, actually, when we use a really enclosed gel layer, kind of like shoe insoles, will be in an even better position. Oh yeah, the data's out of this world. Sorry if I missed any gifts or anything like that. I appreciate all of you. Just been overly locked in. But since I have to do this a bunch of times, I guess I can look at the chat. Use aerogel? I'd love to. There's no right way? There's no way, right? Oh, I don't know. Interesting data. Thank you so much. How long have you been doing this? The hoverboard? The testing continues back 6 years. Thank you so much, P80. Ooh! Ooh! We're getting some intense wear and tear, but it's surprisingly resilient. Surprisingly resilient and unwaxed. So, you know, we can definitely wax the outer hover sheet. I intend to use beeswax. And what we might do is, instead of switching out to a biodegradable plastic, is just go to a plastic that won't degrade at all, and put wax on it. That might actually be the best way to go, because we don't need the plastic, the outside hover wrap, for propulsion. The wax can serve that. Abraham, Mark, thank you so much. Gemini ain't helping, bro. Why would Gemini not help? What are we talking about? You know, the technology of your own age always becomes something that people just overthink, because at their heart, people are highly unscientific. They're actually really prone to believe in like things like magic or something like that. And so outside of the few areas of our technical expertise, we actually sort of think everything else is happening by some sort of superpower or something like that, but no. There's really just science and a bunch of, and just life, just people after that. It's not bad, you know, just to be yourself, but you're just expressing yourself at that point. It's just, which is not lesser, you know, it's art. But the difference between art and science is just like being able to articulate the process for the purpose of, you know, systematic development, larger than the moment projects. Thank you so much, Josh. Great to see you around. Huh. What am I hidden? Okay. Let's do a few more use tests. It's funny how I ended up adding that extra slime in. That's really just to make my own finger more comfortable, but we don't have it on the sides. Just something to think about. Alright. Do a few more tests and we're out of here. Okay, cool. Cool. Thank you guys for the 11K likes, by the way. I mean, 16K likes. I'm all underestimated. There we go. I'm gonna go a little faster, less pressure. Really need to do this in slow motion. I probably will, actually. Excellent. Absolutely excellent. So, we have a pretty good understanding of the wear patterns now. Honestly, I attribute, truthfully, the time machine being powered now for my resiliency, because usually I would quit after this and be like, oh, isn't that enough? But, no. It's not enough. We need this data. This is super important. The hover wrap is brand new. It has not been on the board or on the model for more than, what, 2.5 weeks? We gotta make sure we know what we're getting ourselves into here. We already had the epiphany that we can whack. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Okay. So, wear cascades. We know that. Go ahead and trim that. Okay. Let's get a few more tests in. We need a temporal disruptor. It's interesting. Wear patterns of a plastic bag. Got to, my friend. Almost there. Graham. Oh, yeah. Can we explain what you're doing? What does that say? To your viewers? What do you mean by that? I'll be right back, guys. It's not spamming, my friend. It's science. I'll be right back, guys. a sip of water. Aluminum foil. Aluminum foil will probably, well, aluminum foil specifically, I'm not sure when that'll have any great effect on the hoverboard. Though, maybe on a layer underneath here, something like that. Not exactly sure what specific use I could get out of aluminum foil that copper doesn't really provide. That's why copper is going to be so much of our next studies. We're just getting into copper. One cool feature of this bat that we've attached to the Time Machine Studio. Attached with tape for now because I'm not sure about this. But right, boom, you're plugging in. You're plugging in. So imagine you're doing some lab tests out in the field. Take your time machine to the park or something like that, and you need to charge your phone or gain some power for a small device. Boom. Boom. Boo-hoo-hoo. You plug in. And, energized time machine space is something I can't even wait to begin encoding, which is why I'm using this one so much preferentially. We've got time machines everywhere, but this right here, this is the baby. This is the baby. Alright, a few more tests. We're just getting wear pattern tests on the hover wrap. Just a few more, and then what did I say I was going to do next? Oh, a couple dynamics tests, which reminds me. I just left some slime, our testing medium. Alright, gotta store that back in its container while we complete this. Also, before I left, someone said stop spamming, and I was like, if anyone tells you to stop spamming, never listen to them. If you catch something spammable, I don't care who you upset. Spam it. It's not spamming. Are you spamming eating? Are you spamming breathing? If you find a lick, run that lick up beyond your actual capacity. Never stop. People want you to stop because they see that you're winning and they're jealous. They see that you're getting infinite data, infinite progress. And like, oh, like people in video games, they're like, stop camping, bro. Like, no, what are you talking about? I'm not going to do that. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Why don't you improve yourself so that you can camp your own victories? Never do the exact opposite, because that's your lane. Once you find a spammable lane, you've discovered an action that highly correlates to your truest identity. Run it up. So this one completely broke off at this point. I was almost confused as to what I was looking at, but it sheared off. The top layer is sheared here. Sheared here. That's important to know. That's a little bit dangerous. I don't think this is how we plan to hold it into the midsection anyway, but that's something to know. And then this is going to be just a problem. So it just kind of cements my idea that we don't need separate layers. That we could go, I mean, we do need separate layers, but maybe we could go with 3 highly indestructible layers. So I'm going to have to do some research on what the most indestructible versions of plastic. You're not doing. Someone said I'm not doing anything, just making a toy. Toys. First of all, I would actually be okay with making a toy. There's nothing wrong with toys. Toys are the best products, arguably, in my opinion. But I mean, if it can be used for transportation, I think it's also a vehicle, which is the only thing that I'm really going for. I'm not really going for. I don't know what else I could possibly be doing, but love that feel though. By the way, what would you add? It's more about what I might simplify, reduce, take away. Switch to paper. Grocery paper, bro, would be interesting. It wouldn't be useless, but it wouldn't be what I'm going for. Do a flip trick. I can't do any flip tricks. Me too, bro. You're doing a great job. Thank you. Thank you. Is that another one that sheared off? Or is this the same one? I think it's the same one. Can't tell if that's actually a whole different one. Now we'll know. Now we'll know if it's the same one. Alright, let's put in another stack of repetitions. Locate the edge, just in case we've overdone it. Absolutely amazing. This is leading somewhere. Oh yeah, I mean we're getting. It's just a day of wear tests. Okay. So I don't think we're gonna see anything too new. That's good. That's good. Great progress on that for the night. Thank you guys for the 20K likes, by the way. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. TikTok loves likes. I don't know what they do with them, but they store them up. They store them up somewhere. It's kind of a funny idea. I need some type of liquid for fuel. I don't really think. I'm really trying to go solid state with everything, mechanical with everything, other than some small quantities of electricity. So this, one of the reasons why, upgrading the time machine base is, this is actually going to be right here, one of these. So this is a blown up version of what this is going to be, except for it's going to say hoverboard on it. But and so there's going to be 3 of these on the board. So that's going to be solar power and small, about 15,000 milliamp hours. So to use for various systems on the board. Okay. Not to mention there's going to be probably another 15 to 20, maybe even, thousand milliamp hours on the, I guess if you're in the thousands, can't you just say 5 amp hours? I don't know how that works. But anyway, in the hover core. So another 15 to 20 in the hover core. Wow. I gotta go a little slower and really capture that data. This is out of this world. It's great. It's great. There's nothing more to encode off of that. There really isn't. Alright. Last thing I want to get into tonight, which is we'll see how much progress we can make, is some time machine rings. I would really like a full set of 10 time machine rings. I'm actually trying to make 20 of them. A set of 20, but I don't think I'm going to make it to that tonight. We'll see how close we can get. The time machine rings or the hoverboard. The time machines increase data acquisition, data encoding, and they're called portals. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and just tell you guys a little bit of something. One second, I'll be right back. Oh, nope, don't gotta go anywhere. This is... What are you doing with the skateboard? We're making a hoverboard. This is what I'm about to tell you about the time machine portal. Something I wouldn't even really share anywhere but with the hoverheads, because it's going to sound a little foolish. But the time machine rings were invented roughly January of this year, right? And the time machine rings are also called the time machine. They're rings, but they're called the time machine portals. And the concept behind it, I'm wearing one right now, is that they're a time machine that you enter, or a portal, a time machine and a portal that you enter, but you stay inside of. So the portal, 500 plus followers, you mean watchers, viewers? The portal is a very interesting thing. So it's a portal that you enter into that you stay inside of. Now, that's interesting for a few reasons. Because I think it's like when you're in the portal, when are you in the portal? Even if you go through a portal, once you are in a different location on the other side of the portal, you're kind of still in the portal. Anyway, I'm getting into the philosophy of it all. But, anyway, I sort of think they're real portals. Now, what kind of portals is a little bit of the question. Now, the way they work, let's say, I call one ring, and I'm kind of just talking through the concept, but I call one ring the electron configuration. Why? Because one dimension electrons are correlated with the first dimension. So it's a little bit of just a name, but so where does it teleport you when you are wearing one? My concept of it is that you're moving in a way where you get some electron-like, I'm just going to say it in the only way I can really understand it, electron-like boosts towards data. Oh wow, this thing is, it's an unexpected thing. Rose a perpetual leaker. But so what does that mean, right? Let me see what you guys are saying. AI says discussing time travel wings and building a hoverboard. Very accurate, AI. I refuse to believe that you are genuinely believe what you're doing right now. I know. That's why I kind of prefaced it with well, I kind of preface all the time how ridiculous I could see how this would look to other people. Even though, no, yeah. There's no way. There's no way that most people would be on board. There's just no way. Why would you? But anyway, so what I think with the electron configuration one time machine ring, what's going on is that you are using a temporal concept data set concept of the electron to do a type of linear boost to your time travel. One, I think people are time traveling all the time. What is time traveling? Anything where you use data, which is just about everything that we do as human beings, but varying degrees for different people. But data is a huge part of how we interact with everything, which can be bad and good. But All of that is time travel. So if you're using a computer, if you're remembering a pattern, if you're using your knowledge, and there's really almost nothing that you can do as a human that uses your brain that doesn't interact with whoops, the fourth dimension and data and time and entropy, as all those things are, oh jeez, highly related. Oh, come on. Get off of me. Anyway, so you're getting a linear boost when you have the one dimensional. And what does a linear boost mean, though? Because that also isn't just done by itself. The hover sheet, also a great barrier. Anyway, to put a long story short, I kind of gave you some of the background of it all. Invented the time machine rings in January. You know, at one point I had a hover configuration, 10 rings. Now, I also was planning for about 3 years to move locations, states actually. Texas to Georgia, nothing wrong with dropping that knowledge. But I actually think completing the hover configuration sped up my data processing. Because what was keeping me from the move was actually just things that I needed to figure out, like a few different things. No! No! Oh, no! Not again. Get out of here. Let's see how many we have now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, let's make one more. Actually, let's just keep going. So yeah, I think that they actually work as portals. If the root there is a data root. If it's three-dimensional, but anyway, data, everything three-dimensional is data. So anyway, just telling you guys why I'm so geeked about the boosts, the data boosts that I get from having 10 rings. And the science behind it, I guess I should get into so it doesn't seem like I believe in some sort of foolishness, is really just our, especially with these ones, they're going to get upgraded as we go, and it's going to be interesting because there's supposed to be a copper series version of the ring, which means it would have to be a ring that has a battery and a solar panel on it, which actually isn't that crazy because they have really small solar panels, like the ones that they use on calculators, and those also have batteries on them. So it's really more going to be about. Actually, I already found a few that I think I might just purchase rather than try to create. Solar powered rings are not unheard of. Can you help me? But there are a lot of them are messed up. Oh no, it's the watch that I found, not the ring. Anyway, you forgot to explain. What was I going to explain? Oh, the science of the time machines. So the way that I think that works, um, did you figure out the manifold? I actually haven't worked on any manifolds, interestingly enough, except for, I mean, you could call this a hover manifold, sort of, but I think I would actually need to create a real hover manifold. Let's go ahead and make some rings now. But yes, I was going to explain the the science of the time machine rings, or the science of the time machines in general, again. But the way the time machines work specifically is a few things. One, especially each series kind of works in a different way. The paper series, um, they're all actually quite useful for entropy management. Though with the tree series, not paper series, sorry. I call it the paper series all the time. With the tree series, um, we get increased entropy tracking. You know, for instance, take this ring for example. One, you become hyper aware because they're so fragile. Even though this one's covered in these ones, I cover in the leather. Really, the ring is the gold part, which is just a very flimsy paper. But that paper wall is super reactive to entropy, you could say. And so, as entropy acts upon it, one, you're aware of high entropy situations like washing your hands or something like that. And then also you're able to see just the general entropy of your day played out three-dimensionally because you're wearing the ring. Portals or waypoints. That's really interesting. Ring debuff is no washing hands. Well, you just take the ring off and wash your hands and put it back on, which is what I do. But it was kind of weird the first few days. Hashtag hoverheads, what's up, Thomas? Is the hoverboard or time machine two different researches? Yes, they are definitely two different researches. Thank you so much, Thomas. I appreciate you. Spit moles, what do you think about wormholes? Um, Wormholes. So right now I'm correlating wormholes to, I think they're very similar, actually, to screens. This is the data I have so far. I think wormholes are the 19th dimension. That's where I'm currently at. Um, I'm going to do it in pieces. I used to kind of do all of it all at once, but I haven't been getting the best of luck with that strategy, so let's try something different. Um, 19th dimension. And as I said, screens. Um, I think are using something very similar to wormholes. I have to, actually, we could allow Gemini to assist with that. Let's see. My research is leading me to believe that that wormholes are very similar to screens as a technology. Are there any correlations to that? Let's see. While consumer display cosmos operate on completely different physical mechanics, your intuition lands on a concept that theoretical physicists discuss. Of course. Of course it is. Of course it does. The holographic principle, I mean, that's pretty obvious, and that's kind of a little bit of what I'm getting into as well. The strongest theoretical connection comes from the holographic principle and the ADS CFT correspondence. That's a little bit of what I was using with the teleporter as well. The boundary as a screen. In these models, high-dimensional gravitational universe, the bulk of which contains things like black holes and wormholes, can be completely described by a lower dimensional quantum state living on its outer boundary. Physicists literally model this boundary as a 2D conformal screen. Now, what's fascinating about that, and saying this is from Jarvis. I mean, this is how, if you want a blueprint of how you should be using AI, you can use it. You can use AI in a lot of ways, but I think one thing that people try to do with AI that it's not able to do is create stuff. AI can't make anything, right? All it can do is search stuff. It's just a search engine. It's a super high speed. It's basically modeling what a search engine would look like on a quantum computer. That's basically what AI is doing. It's simulating with a regular computer how a quantum computer would search a database. How long have you been conducting this research? Time machines go back probably at least 10 years on the hashtag time machines. But the hoverboard is 6 years, about 6.5 maybe. Well, we're in 2026, so yeah, 6 years or so. Keep going. Thank you, sir. We won't stop. I'm getting bored though right now, to be honest with you. So I might quit soon. This is the non so glamorous part of scientific progress, but it's worth it. It's worth it. If what I think is gonna happen happens when I get a 10 ring configuration, we have no idea where we'll be. We have no idea, literally, where we'll be, because that'll be 10th dimensional data encoding, portal data encoding, which is pretty crazy. So I explained a little bit about the time machines working via entropy management awareness, and literally entropy management as we continue to move up in different levels of time machine. We'll have more and more energized and scientific forms of energy management. Ooh. We got 2? I thought I made 3 already. Oh, okay. Overestimating myself. Can you help me time travel? I mean, first I'd have to really, because everyone's time traveling all the time. So, I mean, the question is, first, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to do? What are you really trying to do? You want to see your grandma one last time? Yeah, no. Not to be, I mean, first of all, I hope you're doing well emotionally and everything like that. But the problem with people who are no longer with us is that they're literally not with us anymore. It's not a temporal problem, right? If you talked to somebody yesterday, you can go talk to them today, or if they're still alive. Because we don't know what happens to people after. I actually really do believe people are eternal, but we don't know how to access the person when they're not here anymore. Now, the good thing about that, I mean, it's only like while we're here, so it's just like everyone gets to run their thing, and then I think ideally, you know, we all get to link up later and stuff like that, but until someone figures out, and a lot of people have pretended over the years to figure out how to talk to the deceased, but I don't believe any of them, so I really don't, or at least most of them. Maybe one of those dudes actually figured it out, but probably not. Maybe though. I don't want to completely. So that's the only issue with that. Now, if you're talking about specifically just seeing, that's what photos are for, but, and I think photos are a form of photonic time travel, or maybe photonic teleportation. I'm trying to get better at this, but I'm really not getting that much better. I mean, I used to not glue these. I used to tape them, but gluing is so much better, but it's a really complicated, process. Cool thing is we're almost done with 3 rings right now, which is pretty amazing. Gotta make progress. You gotta stay dedicated. Gotta stay dedicated. Gotta make. Stay in the fight and finish those, bro. Bro. I shouldn't even be doing this live because you guys are just gonna shame me when you discover my wavering work ethic. But I'm gonna try. Can I change something from my life when time travel? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The thing though you have to realize is the reason you can do that. Our brains do this kind of thing called just light trauma every time we store a piece of data. And so you kind of view, human beings, we kind of view moments that happened in time as parts of some sort of permanent record, right? But the thing about 3-dimensional moments is they're literally over instantly. So the real reason why you can change things from your life is because they already changed. So we have, consciousness and awareness and memory, very dynamic memory as human beings. And so you can remember these things that happened, right? But they're not happening anymore. They literally only happened for the amount of time that they happened. So, they are over. Now, as a form of therapy, you could go back and recreate the exact moment or anything like that, and then do it differently. And depending on what it is, that might be a real option. It's like, oh, I never dunked or something like that. It's like, well, yeah, go back to the basketball court and you can now move towards dunking. You know what I mean? That was the best one so far, by the way. Times, ladies and gentlemen. However many times you do something, it's time travel. When do you expect the 2 projects to be done? The time machine, I mean, they're never really going to be done. I think I'm going to work on them for the rest of my life. They're just going to continue to improve. So, especially Um, I mean, actually, both of them. I was gonna say, I didn't know which one I was gonna say, the hoverboard or the hoverboard or the time machine. They're both gonna continue to improve massively. Even the teleporter. Anything that I'm working on is I plan to work on forever and just continually make better and better and better. Because truthfully, I think I already made a type of teleporter, at least in design. I would just have to implement the design. It always improves. Oh yeah, we've been getting vast improvement nonstop. You go back to some of the earlier ones. I mean, they all worked. Well, not all of them, but I mean, they all worked better than nothing. But the question is making a really good one, like one that could be, at the end of the day, at the very worst, I'll ride the hoverboard. So it has to be something that I want to ride. You know what I mean? So, and I've ridden a couple of them. Ooh. 5 preps down. Technically, I would need to do at least 4 more to have a full hover configuration. Yo, we doing it live. We doing it super live. My fingers are getting super, super glued up. But that's alright. $25K. $25K arts and craft. I mean, at the very least. At the very least. I can't argue with that. At the very least. Though, I truly believe that art is just science without explanation. Like, quite intentionally without explanation. Like, don't explain it to me. I don't want to know. Because once you explain it, well, it can be reproduced. And sometimes the reason why art isn't explained is because you can't explain it. You don't know how to explain it. Illustration, I really do actually think is not art. But a lot of people would hate on me for that. It is art in a context, but I don't think that the one making it is necessarily an artist. I think whoever made whatever is being illustrated is the artist. So it's like if a writer wrote a story and then it has illustrations. Now, illustrations can be art, but if they're highly formulaic, I think that's what makes anime so good, is that the illustration is sometimes an art as well as a science. son of a gun. It's a hard one. Dude, your phone should be plugged in on the sun energy and not on the outside. Funnily enough, if I get my way, in literally a few months, a lot of my charging will be captured from the sun instead of house electricity, though. I mean, there's of course nothing wrong with it. But because I'm creating these new time machines with the battery power on them, they're also going to have a solar panel on them. And this is just the small version. This is the lab. There's also going to be this right here, the station. There's going to be a full copper station. I mean, solar station. And so it's going to be probably, thank you so much, Kat. Thank you, my G. It's probably going to be a little, Kat's gone hard. I don't know if it's going to be straight up copper. It might be brass or something like that. Yeah, Kat's gone absolutely wild. 70 roses? That's crazy. Might need to get you a battery. Oh yeah, there's going to be a battery on that as well. This one is, 5,000 mAh, but the big one for the whole station. Whoa, we're in the hundreds, Kat. Jeez, 110. That's interesting. That is interesting. All right, let me do a couple more. Let's not wuss out. Uh-oh. I trimmed that, bro, a little bit too hard. Alright, whatever. Let's move with the quickness because I'm starting to get freaking pissed off. That's how you know you've kind of figured something out when you start being able to rush it. Times, ladies and gentlemen, how many times you do something is also time travel. Sometimes you just didn't do it enough times. That's why people practice. Because, like, yeah, you could sit around reading books all day, but repetitions for if you're trying to do groundbreaking stuff. Repetitions. Ooh. Really set you up for success. Working on the spaceship thing. Spacesuit thing? Yes. Well, right now we're making some time machine rings, which are not technically part of the hover suit, though. Can't say that I wouldn't advise wearing some while hovering. Some gold paint's getting on them. Can't hurt. Alright. Let's knock the rest of these out. I'm not trying to be here all freaking night. Alright. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Knock if you buck. That's such a funny username. I don't know why, but I only heard about that song via like pop culture, not in real time. But I guess that's also something people just say, so maybe you're not really talking about the song. Get off of me. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. We're moving with the quickness now. That's how you know we're getting it down. And that's part of the whole thing. That's part of the whole thing. Operations. Because the thing is, I'm trying to move so fast as an inventor. Sometimes I don't really explain everything, but you know what I mean? It's like being an inventor is no small thing. And leveling up technical proficiency is something in and of itself. So I'm basically killing as many birds as possible with one stone. Bro says I'm faking. I'm over here slaving away when I could be eating an ice cream sandwich. And bro says I'm faking. 6 years in and I'm faking. How's that possible? Well, I mean, I guess it's technically possible. But I mean, even if I was faking, I actually don't know the difference between faking and doing something for real. What is the actual difference? Let me try to think about something. It's like if I'm pretending to make a cake. I don't know. I guess there is a difference. I don't think I'm pretending or faking. Oh my gosh, where did that come from? The freak was that? What year would you travel to and where would you want to teleport to? What year? Let's say I had the type of time machine that could go to dates. I mean, any time machine that I have, man, with like a time machine that's just traveling between specific dates like that. I don't know. I want to say that I want to go super far, but I don't really know how much I want to know about the future. I kind of want to know a little bit about my future. I'd probably start off, depending on like if I just have infinite time traveling abilities, to wet my feet. I'd probably start off going about 10 years just to see what's going down over there. I wouldn't really care too much about going backwards, to be honest, except for certain things, like when they pop in my head, I'd be like, oh, you know what, I forgot, I want to see. You know, I'd go see Jimi Hendrix perform. I'd probably go check out. But see, that's not a time machine at that point. That's a magic. It's a magic time infiltrator. Magic moment infiltrator. Yo, the phone is already 100%. Oh yeah, it just stays plugged in because it's in the station, so it's really just like a permanent in station screen. Oh, we didn't even. Let's go a little bit more into the 19th dimension. EPR, hypothesis, theoretical physicist Leonard Susskind, my favorite of the moment. He just seems to be the most, just like going in right now. I don't know if he's won a Nobel. If I have to ask again, I'm gonna get angry. Chris, you gotta cut that out, bro. Can't be getting grumpers. I didn't even see what you said. I'm out here trying to freaking glue this thing in without getting 500 more gallons of super glue stuck to my hands. And Chris is screaming at me about something. King J, thank you so much. Nuck, if you buy Kenya, good luck with the glue. Thanks. 500 gallons, yes, I exaggerated. He was saying you should. Well, okay. Then why would I have paid attention to that, Chris? Chris is about to lose his marbles. Is there an explanation somewhere for what's happening? Right now I am making 10 time machine rings for the purposes of greatly increasing my time traveling abilities, which is already happening due to due to the upgraded Time Machine Lab Solar Series. It's only a 2/3 completion, so it's not really at full effect just yet. But it's already. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. I have to do some research into copper, but copper is pretty amazing. Just for the most basic reasons, it's like not things don't have to be super crazy, but I mean just the fact that copper is a metal, but it's workable at all. If this was any other metal other than gold, which I wouldn't have been able to afford anyway, in that quantity, if this was any other metal, I would not have been able to make this because I had to cut. This came as one solid piece. I was actually trying to make one, and I ordered them. They told me that this was going to be 3.5 inches by 5 inches. It's literally more like 4.5 by 6.5 inches. So that's roughly the same size as a regular time machine already. So I thought I was getting two halves. If you look at that, it's just a little bit shorter than a regular time machine. I thought I was getting two halves that I would, build a time machine because these are like 3.5 by 5. But it turned out it was just one, so I had to cut this in half to make one time machine, and that was only possible because copper is relatively pliable. And I had to use this guy right here. It's called a coping saw for anyone who needs the information. And coping saws can, well, a lot of things can cut copper this small. I tried to use the wire cutter to cut them in half. That didn't work. And that's when I went and bought a coping saw. And that was not easy, which is why. But anyway, let's continue. I believe we only have. Was that all of them? Is that the last one? Dang. Amazing. Amazing. We completed step 1. Time flies when you're having fun. Alright, let's see what's going on here. Some of these, I want to start with the driest one. Okay, this one's good. Let's make, what size should I make this one? We'll make this one a middle finger ring. Attuned to my middle finger, of course. That's the only problem I have. I realize making these for other people is just like, I'm really just going to make it the size of my index finger, so if you have super chubby fingers, then it's not going to work, so I got to figure that out. Let's load up another bro. Locked and loaded. Cursor, can you please send me a message? That way you can help me time travel. Thank you. I mean, bro, I don't think I can really assist with the type of time traveling you're thinking about. But if you send me a message, I'll do my best to reply. I really will. Especially, like, even ahead of all the other people. Because there's like 300 messages in my inbox that I have not even had the chance to peruse. And I want to, because I really do appreciate everyone's messages. Even though some people are just like, bro, man, you're losing it, dude. And I'm just like, okay, thank you, Chief, for your excellent... I don't know why you felt the need to message that to me. A comment would have sufficed, but you really want me to know, I suppose. It's kind of funny, actually. Ooh, this seems like it's going to be the easiest part of the whole thing. Alright, so that's index. Now I need another... I already have one for this finger. I'll map one on this finger. Actually, this one's kind of thin. I think I'll go pinky on this one. I don't need this to be as long then, if it's going pinky. That might have been too much to remove. What did I just do? I did middle finger. Which one was this? Was this ring finger? No, that was middle finger. Okay, so let's do ring finger. How's the data for the 19th dimension? Oh man, it's encoding nonstop. That's why I got a lot of things working at the same time. This time machine is encoding this hoverboard, even though we're not even actively talking about it. These two rings that I just made are now being encoded by this copper time machine, which is also being encoded by this heavy-duty time machine underneath it, which is also being encoded by the time machine space station that's underneath it, not to mention even just these scissors sitting on top of this time machine lab are technically encoding temporal data from the scissors, and the whole time machine is encoding a bunch of other stuff that's on this surface. So, but yeah, the screen is in there, just hardcore encoding the 19th dimension. Oh, but we were talking about because the screen is the 19th dimension, but also the data on the screen is also 19th dimension, because talking about, yeah, ER's Einstein-Rosen bridges, which is the traditional wormhole, the people who started the whole wormhole thing that everybody's on these days. Einstein Rosen bridges. Ooh. Three down. 6 to go. Alright, let's do 2 thumb rings back to back. I forgot we need 2 of every ring. This is still wet, but didn't seem to make it sticky. Whew. Oh my gosh. We're moving, we're moving, we're moving, we're moving. Is this satire or serious? Come on, my friend. I'm a grown, talented, handsome man. You think I'm out here playing around? Can you add me to the live? No. I'm not. It takes a lot of work to add people, to be honest with you. Who put handsome question mark? Booted from the live permanently. Your live, your live access is revoked. What do the rings service? What do they service? Oh my gosh. Gigantic failure. Jeez. Get off of me. Not the easiest thing I've done. What are you watching? Oh, you can hear it? I'm actually not watching. I'm listening. I got an earbud in connected to my TV, which is in a different room, but I'm listening to Mickey Papa, skateboarder. He's on the 9 Club. It was like 2 weeks ago, but got it in my ear. What kind of music do you listen to? Um, I listen to a lot of indie and stuff like that. I have a whole playlist. I should drop it. I should send it out as a link or something like that. Okay, which one do I need? Let me do another one of these because I need another index, but my index finger is tied up at the moment. But I'm gonna take that band-aid off just to put these rings on. Boom. Need another pinky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bro, what is that board? I don't understand. It's really you're probably thinking too hard on it, my guy. It's just everything structural just serves a very small purpose of making sure that um, of allowing the board to frictionlessly interact with any obstacle that it comes across. So that's hold that down. Oh, he for real, he's for real, he's for real, he's for real. He's not playing, it's not a game, it's not gonna change just cause you came into the frame. Yeah, well, you can't imagine how crazy scientific progress is. Oh yeah, I mean, whew. It's even weird doing these live. When I first started doing these lives, I really didn't think I was gonna be able to do real tests, but now I do most of my real stuff live. I don't really have time to do most of this stuff. And so it's like the hoverheads are literally making, oh my gosh, the hoverheads are literally making it possible for me to do all this work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have two thumbs. I think I have one middle finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I need another middle finger. I should have two pinkies and two thumbs. Probably need another middle finger. Jeez. Tell you what. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's do a quick test here. Thumb. It's not really thumb size though. These don't have to fit perfectly though, but get off of me. Alright, well, I don't know what I got in front of me, but we'll just make another thumb size one. Oops. The things I do for science, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh, yes. These are hover rings. Absolute last one that I'm gonna make, thankfully, because covered in freaking super glue at this point. Definitely need a better strategy, but sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. This will be part of the documentary here. Alright, now we're on to the second to last step. Thank you guys so much, Hoverheads, for hanging out with me while we make some time machine rings. I mean, the data is incredible, so I can understand why you would, but at the same time, I still just appreciate you. I will be right back. Alright. Hoverheads unite! Can I ask the point of all this? I made a new fleet of time machine rings. Just because I've been meaning to, and I would really like to test. I call it the hover configuration, and I have some concepts about its potential effects. But it's helped me study time travel and the 10th dimension, so there's really no good reason not to do it. 10 time machine portals, rings, portal rings. Like this one you're seeing here. I might make them, I'm debating making them hyper entropic, just to save time. What's the best prototype of the hoverboard? This one, the 10D. The 10D. Nothing beats the 10D board. Really. Actually, the 7D is maybe is a close second, I'll say that. The 7D is definitely a close second. Because I've been making a few models of the 7D lately, and I'm honestly shocked. I'm honestly shocked at how well the 7D board performs anytime. I would actually like to build, I probably will do a full size of the 7D as well as the 10D. I thought I was just going to do the 10D, but goodbye, everyone. Thank you so much. Look out, the sun exploded. Oh, it's hilarious. Oops. The sun exploded. I don't think you'd be able to see the sun explode. Well, I guess you would. Maybe, but it would just happen so fast. No, I guess you wouldn't. It would depend if there was like some sort of internal black hole thing that somehow sucked all the energy inwards instead of having it blast over to us. knocking us out of existence, then I suppose there might be something to see. Briefly. We're moving on up. Look at the amount of super glue on there. It's crazy. What is the 10th dimension? Where there? 21 possibly? And all the dimensions that you've observed, is our sun shining bright? Well, the sun would be in all dimensions just like we are. Dimensions aren't locations, they're just everywhere. 10th dimensions hover. I think there's infinite dimensions. How did I listen to that whole episode? That lets you know I've been live a lot longer than I said I was going to. Because I'm in pursuit of the hover configuration. And nothing will stop my pursuit. We're up to 4. I didn't anticipate this step taking this long. But actually I forgot there's 2 more steps after this. The last step. I wonder how long that's going to take. Why not make it solar powered? Oh yeah, it will. I mean, the tree series is not solar powered. This is the tree series. So the lowest of all the series of time machines. These are just made out of mostly paper. They have leather upgrades, which are not series specific. Meaning that like the copper one could also have a leather upgrade. Ooh. That's something else I want to do. I'm just going to have to go to sleep pretty soon because I'm getting too many good ideas. And I actually was supposed to go to sleep 53 minutes ago. So I'm going to have to keep my ideas limited for the night. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is the goal right now? To make 10 rings. Alright, let's speed this up. I gotta go to sleep. Come on. That's 7. I didn't count one last time. Let's go, guys. This is 8. We'll see if I instantly disappear once I have 10 rings. I actually only need 9 because I'm wearing one, but I'd rather have them all come from the same set since I can't imagine what they would think over at the office if I walked in there with 10 of these rings on. One thing I'm not going to do anymore, I just decided, and this is part of the benefit of getting these iterations in. I'm going to stop putting the tape. I put the tape on the extra band where it folds over because in my mind I'm covering it up, but I'm just like, that's stupid. Actually, never mind. I'm going to keep doing it. I thought I was going to stop because I don't like how it looks, but it also has the added benefit of sealing that point. But I don't know how important that is. I can do that a different way. Yeah, I'm not going to do it anymore. This is going to be the last set where I do it like this. Boom. Perfection is for the weak. Couple mistakes give you the character you need for mutation, iteration. Alright, now the second to last step. Time machine. Two. Now, does the messiness of the handwriting reduce the time travel effect? I actually think it does slightly, but so slightly that it doesn't really matter. Because the data is sufficient to project the intention. Oops. Dun 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 dun. Sorry, haven't been reading the check. Been dialed in. Illy baby. Question mark, question mark. We're making time machine rings. Hover configuration. 10 rings. 10th dimension is hover. Whoop. Mega serious. Mega serious, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, last step. Technically, they're already done, but actually, I don't really know because the time machine part is not visible. The paper, I don't really consider it done until this last step. Boom. That's one done. I like to do both sides, but I'm not doing that right now. It's already late and I need to get out of here. You know what would make this easier right now? I'll be right back. Boom. What did I do with the freaking thing? I dropped it. All right. This one's good. If I could get this light right here, that'd be perfect. Perfect. Oops. The time machine window. Any luck on the quadratic operations? No. Not yet. We're getting there though. We're getting there. 2 done. A real crafter, I'm sure, would know a way to do this in like 5 seconds, but it is what it is. Clip that up a little bit. This one's wonky. This one is wonky, but the wonky ones, oh my gosh, are even better. pure data. What's the fourth dimension? Time. Time is the fourth dimension. Entropy, data, all of that as well. That one's a little, it's highly entropic. Two, three, four. Wait a second. 4. Oh, missing one. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. These 4 are done. Oh, a little bit too far. So, one of the reasons I'm doing 10 rings, in case I haven't said it in your hearing, is to tap into the hover, what I call the hover configuration. What does that mean? It means we're encoding all data while we're in the ring, all data of all actions and locations and anything else related to the persona are encoding at the 10th dimensional level. Now, what's the benefit of this? The idea is that it should teleport you, because it is called a portal. It'll teleport you to down your timeline, because it's a time machine, to your future or past, or basically lowest entropy, most ideal habitation or homeostasis state. That's the idea. That is the idea. Now it is time, right? So it's like what's on your timeline. So it's depending on the data that you currently already have of what that would be. So it's not some sort of magical thing. It can only work based off of your own data so that you pursue the contents of said data. Oh. To the furthest furthest abilities, furthest potentials, perhaps. Ooh. 2 away from completion. This is a moment, ladies and gentlemen. It's not the first time I've had a configuration, though, a hover configuration. The last time I did, let me tell you, some time traveling went down. We're actually going to have enough for a Nexus configuration. Have I heard of lotion? My skin is not dry, my friend. I know more about lotion than your mom probably. Oh, sorry. But I mean, just in general. That she's the most likely because she's the lady of the house, you know. So. Funnily enough, I actually think lotion is 3-dimensional time travel. Because what is 3-dimensional time travel? It's presence. Anyway. Boom. So we're complete. I'm actually going to take this band-aid off because I don't think the cut's not really open. It's just getting a little irritated. So let's get this. I don't know if that's the right finger for that. Try it out. Oh, I think that's probably an index finger. Boom. Cutting off the circulation a little bit. They're a little small. It's good data though. I'm going to take this one off for now. I will probably try the Nexus formation. Boom. Hoo hoo hoo! The hover configuration. Oh man. Oh man. Careful with the Nexus formation. It's funny you say that. I was like, should I go for the Nexus formation? It just took, how long did that take us? It took about an hour straight to construct a full hover configuration. I have to test the hoverboard with the hover configuration on. This is out of here. Ooh, what do they do? So, I mean, time machines in general are for the encoding of data, and I kind of think of it as entropy management, something to do with entropy. Entropy recording for sure. Data encoding on video specifically. Basically, what I mean by that, it's all really about entropy lowering. Because entropy is the enemy of data. Because it clouds, it distorts, or it's noise, basically. Wow. And so they're just different ways of lowering entropy. The encoding, the design, the absorption of entropy, all simply to lower entropy and to give you more control over time through sheer action or data or intention. Wow. 10th dimensional hoverboard tests with the hover configuration. It doesn't get better than this. Jeez. 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 Oh, sorry. No, it is pretty wonderful to have a full hover set. All right, I think it's time to go for the Nexus formation. Let's go for the Nexus formation. First ever. Actually, I don't know if this is the first. A Nexus formation. An 11th dimensional. The Nexus is too much. The Nexus is pretty wild. I don't even have very much research on what the Nexus is, so, but I don't actually believe that any advancement is inherently dangerous. Danger comes only from human intention. Wow. 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 Absolutely amazing. I don't even think I can get the whole configuration on at one moment. This one's a little tight. I don't know if that's the right finger for that. think, oh, my index finger is just big on this side of my hand. Doesn't even want to leave. That's probably more because of the glue than anything else. Put that one over there. Yeah, that's a better fit. Have you checked your flux capacitor yet for the core to work? No. Wow. Absolute. Like, it begs the question when you increase speeds of time travel. So, kind of part of one way I think of thinking about my. Well, I'm not doing the. Let's get back to the Nexus configuration. One way I think of. Ooh, the Nexus. The meeting of equals. Interesting. Anyway, one way of thinking about. I just forgot what I was going to say. I shouldn't have got so excited about the Nexus. What was I saying, if anyone remembers? Testing the 10th dimensional hoverboard, yes. Oh, yeah. With this later, you can gyroscope. Nice rings, thank you so much. He's pulling 100k likes every live. I'm definitely not pulling 100 every live, but I did once. And I thank you guys so much for the 36k likes. I appreciate it. The Nexus formation can cause waves of dimension to collide, causing a reverse Big Bang. A safe one, though. A safe one. How would I define time travel? It's more about how I define a single unit of time. What is a unit in time? Take away all of the human dramatization. Amazing. And what is a unit of time? It's simply a certain organization of three-dimensional setup, right? So everything is three-dimensional in some way, at least spatial. So a different moment in time is all the same stuff, but in a different arrangement, right? So time travel is just about moving through arrangements of the third dimension. Yeah, and there's just a lot of options, so it's hard to get from one to the other. But a lot of things aren't hard to get back to. Like, that's what solid objects are about. They're the same every time, relatively. They actually also change over time, but on the scale that we move through time, it seems like they're not moving, or they're the same every single time. But everything's changing. If you speed up time enough. Fix the core, Leo. Okay, I'll get to work on that. I will get to work on that. This is the most recent time machine core. Have you time traveled before? I mean, we're all time traveling all the time, but with the time machines, the time travel is epic, to say the least. All right, you guys, I gotta go. Gotta head to sleep. I appreciate you so much, Hoverheads, for once again sticking with me. Do I use AI? I know people hate AI, but it's not real, you guys. You just don't know what AI is. It's just centralization. It's just computers actually working for the first time. We've romanticized using keyboards and having really bad relationships with computers because they're so new. They've only been here for 100 years. But AI is literally just the seventh dimension. And as you know, 6-7, we're moving from the sixth era of technology to the seventh. Anyway. It's been a blast, ladies and gentlemen. The Nexus Quantum. Okay, I didn't see what that said. But I appreciate you guys. Continue to be cool people. Stay awesome. Hoverheads, you guys are amazing. Yeah, just keep rocking. See you again soon. Great data on the night. It's going to be interesting. We'll be able to come back and see how the hover rings truly. Oh, we're at the Nexus configuration. How that plays out over the next few moments. This guy's going to have to move to this one. Boom, boom. The full hover configuration, Nexus configuration. Stay blessed. Huge progress on the day. Massive progress. Not only did we upgrade redo the hover app, got great hover app data, tested the 2/3 completed Solar Series Time Machine Lab, and we're starting to see entropy being recorded on this, and that is amazing data. For the first time, we're seeing entropy on a Solar Series Time Machine Lab, and it's very fascinating because I anticipated a lot less entropy data recording, but it's still managing to pick up so much data. So that's going to be amazing as we continue to test. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Huge progress today, Anthony Hall. I appreciate you. Soapman, we are on the edge of something. I appreciate you guys. Hoverheads, you're amazing. Continue to be yourselves at all times. Don't let anything dissuade you from being who you are. Hoverheads out.